Why does India keep topping the wrong charts again and again? On one hand, we want to become a global destination for sports, and on the other hand, we are struggling to deal with the doping issues in sports. Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. In today's session, we will understand where India stands when it comes to the use of banned substances in sports and what are some major reasons behind such a high positivity rate. So let's get started. Now, before we dive into the discussion, let me just quickly remind you that we have an exciting new launch for you, which is the Studio JS Foundation live online course. This is going to be a completely beneficial course for you because you will cover all your prelims and main syllabus in only rupees 24,999. And that's not all. If in future you wish to join our offline foundation batch, this complete fee is going to be adjusted in the fees of the offline foundation batch. So this becomes a practically free course for all the students who wish to join our offline foundation batch in future. So hurry, as the admissions are already open. Please call us at 87501 for more information. Now let's get back to our topic. According to WADA's 2024 report, WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, according to this report, India recorded 260 positive doping cases from 7,113 samples. So of the 7,000 plus samples that we surveyed, 260 were positive cases. So our positivity rate over here, our positivity rate, which means the number of positive samples out of the total samples that we checked, our positivity rate is very, very high. It is somewhere around 3.66%. This is a significantly high number because if you look at this graph over here, which compares the country-wise positivity rate, India is the leader with 3.66% and no other country is really, touching that mark. We are far ahead even of the double of this number, 1.75, which is of Norway, US with 1.15 positivity rate. So we have a very high positivity rate, which is more than the double of the second number also, of the second ranker also. And this tells us that India has significantly high positive doping cases, which means, and because of all these things, we actually have become the first ranker in this report of WADA's report for the third consecutive time. So in the last three reports, we have stood at number 1 when it comes to the positive doping cases. We have a very high positivity rate. Now, if you look at the total number of doping cases that we have conducted so far in the past 4 years, so we are talking about the 2024 figure. Here we had 7,113 cases. Now in 2025, so far we have conducted 7,068 tests. Now this is only preliminary data for 2025. The report that we are talking about, WADA's report, this is 2024 report. So all through these years, we have seen an increase in the number of tests that we have conducted. But the rank that we hold is not because of the tests that we conduct. That if we are conducting more tests, that means that now we are, that is one of the reasons because of which we have these high positive rates. It is mainly because we have a very high positivity rate. We are conducting more and more tests. That is a good thing. All the other countries are also doing it. Majorly all the other developed countries are also conducting more tests, high number of tests. But the problem with India is that out of all these tests that we conduct, more number of people turn out to be positive. So our positivity rate is high. That is the major issue behind this rank of India. And if we talk about the trend of the positivity rate for all these years, like for the past 4 years, we're talking about this data, the data of 2024. This is at 3.6, a slight dip from the previous data of 3.8. And if you look at the preliminary data of 2025, This is not the complete picture, it's the preliminary data for 2025 as we do not have the complete reports yet. All the tests have not been conducted yet. But right now we see a significant dip from the 2024 data. From 3.6 we see a dip to 1.5. So this is a good thing that the number of tests that we are conducting, they are increasing. But despite that, our positivity rate is coming down, which means that the things that we are doing in this regard, they are actually working in our favor. But right now if we talk about the 2024 report, the data is not looking great for us, and especially when I talk about that India wants to become a global destination for sports, because you know that the Commonwealth Games are going to be in 2030. We are going to host the Commonwealth Games, and this in turn is just a stepping stone in the larger ambition that we have, that we want to host the Olympics of 2036. So we really have to look at these figures, we really have to work towards bringing these things down in order to build the trust in the global sports community. So right now from preliminary data, we see some good news, but if we talk about 2024's data, the positivity rate is very, very high. Now if I talk about the sport-wise data, which sports basically records the most number of doping? Doping, as you know, is the use of banned substances, all the substances that will basically enhance a sports person's performance by reducing the pain or giving some hormones or steroids, etc. So in which sport have we recorded the most? So out of the 260 positive cases, if we look at the absolute number over here, athletics has the maximum number of positive test results. Athletics has the maximum number of absolute positive test results. But if I talk about the positivity rate over here, which is in percentage, what do you see? The highest is bodybuilding with a positivity rate of 66.7%. And then we have powerlifting at the second position with 31.5%. So the positivity rate is the highest in bodybuilding, but the absolute number of positive results is the highest in athletics. This is the sports-wise data for 2024. Now I told you that the preliminary reports for 25 suggest that we are seeing a dip, which is a good thing. But what are some reasons because of which we see such a high positivity rate of 2024's data? Let us talk about that. You know, we already have NADA, which is the National Anti-Doping Agency, and as per the National Anti-Doping Bill of 2025, which was passed in August earlier this year, this also basically gave in more powers, and it talked about strengthening NADA according to the WADA standards. Now, while all this is happening, still we see such a high positivity rate. Why? Why is this happening? So if I talk about the reasons over here, the most important reason is the lack of awareness. Lack of awareness in these sports persons. They are not clear as to which substances fall under the list of banned substances. They do not know, they are not aware. Because of that, unknowingly, most of the times, like this is the biggest deterrent, unknowingly, most of the times, the sports person, they consume substances which are banned, which come under doping. So first and foremost reason over here is the lack of awareness. Lack of awareness on the part of sports person, and many times lack of awareness on the part of coaches also, because they also unknowingly are giving them those substances. And then if I talk about, an easily sports person place their trust in their coaches. And then if I talk about the availability of these substances, so all these are very easily available as well. These steroids, these hormones, all these painkillers, they are very easily available as well, and it is very easy to get hold of these things, and then they can be fed to the sports person to enhance their performance. All this is happening because there is a implementation gap at the grassroots level. I told you we have a National Anti-Doping Agency. Now, this National Doping Agency, Anti-Doping Agency, it is not basically able to deal with all the issues that are there at the grassroots level at the moment, because it will have to take care of campaigns, it will have to educate the sports person, the coaches, all these things will have to happen in order to see a reduction at the grassroots level. So that implementation gap right now is there. We have a national agency, but it is not able to, completely take care of the issues at the grassroots level. More and more work needs to be done in this regard. And then there is always a pressure. There is always a pressure on our sports person to win these medals. Many a times they come from very humble backgrounds, they come from very poor backgrounds. There is a pressure to perform very well, and then there's a mindset that when everybody is doing it, why can't we do it? So that cultural mindset is also there. All these factors clubbed together basically lead to this high positivity rate in India. But as I told you, that 2025's data, preliminary data at least, is showing that we are doing well. But right now, if we look at the current report, for the third consecutive time, India has topped the list, topped the anti-doping agency's report, and this is not a very good sign for India, because India is wanting to place itself as a global destination for sports. So that was all for this video. I hope you were able to understand everything that we discussed over here. Now let us practice a question for prelims. Back to our question. With reference to the World Anti-Doping Agency testing data, consider the following statements. 1. India recorded the highest number of positive doping cases globally for the third consecutive year. 2. India's doping positivity rate was the highest among countries conducting more than 5,000 tests. 3. Preliminary data for 2025 shows a decline in India's doping positivity rate compared to the previous year. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1 and 3 only, or D. 1, 2 and 3. Please provide your answers in the comments section, and we will meet in a new video. Thank you for watching.
Introducing Drishti IAS Everyday Wear, the casual jacket and the polo neck t-shirt, perfect for everyday and casual wear. Shop now on the Drishti Learning app and Flipkart. Buy link in the description.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.